Hey, this is Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about the actual cost for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for an 80-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to know is you can go to just about any page on our website at funeralfunds.com and find one of our quoters. You just fill in the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And you fill out the coverage amount and put your birthday and all that stuff, hit the get quotes now. It's going to pull you up the same quoter that we use to help our clients. It's going to show you all the best companies available in your state and the lowest rates. So check that out. You can also call us at 888-862-9456 if you want to talk to a real person. Now, the first thing you need to know is an 80-year-old female is $20,000 worth of insurance going to be enough for your final expenses? Well, if you're going to be cremated, and you're just going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn, that's going to be between $1,000 to $2,000. So if you're looking for a brand new policy, we wouldn't recommend $20,000. We'd probably recommend you get about a $5,000 policy. We don't think it's smart to overinsure, just simply because at age 80, the insurance gets more expensive. Now, if you have the financial means to do so, then go for it. It's just most of the people we work with and help are on fixed or limited income. So we really try to protect kind of their budgets, but also protect their families from not having this money when they do pass away. Now, if you're going to have a cremation and then you're going to have some sort of celebration of life or remembrance ceremony, then that's probably going to be between $3,500 to $4,500. And, $20,000 is going to be more than enough, but probably overinsured as well, too. So if you're looking for a brand new policy, we'd probably recommend you look at maybe $7,500, maybe $10,000. But in the end, don't overinsure. If all you can afford is $5,000, get $5,000, because if you don't have that insurance, your family's going to have to pay for that. So also, a lot of times people would say, well, I just want to leave some money behind for my family. Well, at age 80, again, the insurance starts to get a little bit more expensive. So if you wanted to do that, you probably should have taken care of that in your 60s and 70s. So as a rule, the people we're working with are fairly tight on their money, and we want to get just enough coverage to do the job. Now, one thing we hear once in a while too is that somebody will call and say, "Hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and the body's down at the funeral home, and they didn't have insurance, and we don't have any money, and the funeral home won't bury them until we get them the money. So we need to get this insurance right now." And we have to tell them, unfortunately, there's no insurance company in the United States that offers insurance on dead people. It doesn't work out that way. So it's really sad that that person who passed away knew this day was coming, but never took care of it and just left this burden for their family. Now there's not only a financial burden, there's a huge emotional burden and all sorts of stress. So it's a terrible thing to do to your loved ones. Don't do that stuff. So we do recommend you get first day coverage. That's what we help people with, first day coverage or benefits with low cost, same day approvals. And the reason first day coverage is so important is at age 80, we just don't know if you got another 20 seconds or another 20 years left. So you want to make sure that if you got your policy today and you died tomorrow, it would pay out. And a lot of people would say, well, those first day coverage policies have health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. Well, just understand 90 to 95% of the people we help qualify for first day coverage. And really the only reason you wouldn't is if you had some fairly significant health or medical issues. And that would be things like a terminal illness where you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or dementia or dialysis, or if you're in a hospital or a nursing home, something like that. So just be aware, most people are going to qualify for first day coverage. Now, we don't recommend the 2-year waiting period plans, because if you die of a health or medical reason in the first 2 years, they're not going to pay out a penny. They'll return your premiums and stuff, but that's not what you want. You don't want your premiums back plus an interest rate. You want a death benefit for your family. The other thing too is a lot of 80-year-old females would go, ha ha ha, I outsmarted the insurance companies. I made it to 80 and I never bought any insurance. Now I can get that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn, and it's probably going to pay out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And nothing could be further from the truth, actually. If you take a look here, age female, age 80, 1 unit of coverage for $9.95 is going to only pay out $608. That is not quite that $50,000 you had in your mind, was it, Miss 80-year-old female? So don't get tricked, don't get fooled. The $9.95 is probably a great marketing plan for Colonial Penn. It probably gets them a lot of interest, but judging by what we see online, a lot of people are not very happy with that either, because when they get on the phone, they find out that it is genuinely $9.95 is not going to do them much good. There's other 2-year waiting period companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha product, AIG, Gerber, a bunch of other different insurance companies offer only 2-year waiting periods. And some of those companies have done a pretty good job of convincing the American public that anybody over age 50, that's all they're going to qualify for is a 2-year waiting period plan. And nothing could be further from the truth, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. So let's take a look. Colonial Penn. The challenge is you're not going to get, I know this in advance, you're not going to get $20,000 because they max out at 15 units. And if you look at this, 10 units, 10 times 6 would be around 6,000. So, we get up, it's probably going to be 9,000. There we go, $9,120. So for 150, let's go 15 units maxed out as 9,120. So if you want 20, you can't even get half of the $20,000. And the 9,120, that's like not even really enough for a burial right now. And just also keep in mind that this won't pay out for 2 years, so that it's going to be worth less in 2 years due to inflation. So why would you do that? It's kind of interesting. Let's look at a $20,000 plan in first day coverage. 20,000 female, and we're going to click get a quote. And again, this is $149 for 9,000, and this ends up being roughly $200 somewhere in there, $190 to $200. So it's definitely more. But again, for a lot of folks who we work with, getting around $200 is a lot of money, and that's why we would probably recommend, in a lot of cases, if all you can afford is $10,000, get the $10,000 right now. We can add more coverage later, or it buys you time to figure out other options too. So just get what you can afford. Don't say, hey, I want $20,000, and if I don't get $20,000, I'm not doing anything. Well, there again, your family's going to be the one calling up where your body's at the funeral home, and your family's going to be trying to get insurance on a dead person, meaning you. So don't put your family in that situation. So let's look at another company here, maybe or two, somebody that advertises a fair amount. Let's see. Oh yeah, Lincoln Heritage here. So Lincoln Heritage, they're a fine company, level first day coverage, but you can see their pricing is really quite expensive, $287. So they've got a thing where they will, when you pass away, they'll call 2-3 funeral homes and try to get the best pricing, maybe do a couple other things, but you pay for that service in premium. It's not free. So that's roughly $287 versus around $200. So I'm going to do 8 times 87. Let's round it up to 90. So 9 times 12 is $108 a month. So I'm going to round that down to $100 a month. So 12 months, that would be an extra $1,200 more a month. If you live another 10 years, you'd be overpaying $12,000. So just have to ask yourself, is that worth it for a company to call 2-3 different places and do a couple other things? Is that worth roughly around $12,000 for them to do that? So most people would say, well, that's maybe kind of seems expensive. So what we do at Funeral Funds of America is we provide a funeral and estate planning guide, and we provide that free of charge. You can just fill it out. Who goes, what goes to who gets what, where you want things done, as far as funeral homes, arrangements, all that stuff. And we recommend you just keep that with your policy. And that way, when you pass away, your family's going to have all that information. They're going to know that you were thinking about them, you loved them, you cared about them, and you protected them in advance. And it's totally free, and you can save a lot of money just by doing that. And we're happy to provide that free of charge. So go to our website. We've got our quoter. Just fill that out. You can see actual pricing. You can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. And whether you've got an existing policy, you want to price shop it with us, we can do that. If you just want to add coverage to a policy, we can help you out there. If you need a brand new policy, we can help you. If you just want some information, we're happy to help you with that too. So we look forward to chatting with you at some point. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.